Now this next part should move along fairly quickly. So what I've done here is I put in my internal walls here. Okay, so let me just select that wall and show you how I've made that up. So I was deciding as to whether I would just leave this as the CLT panel, or would I put a service layer and a plasterboard on either side. So I decided to run with that. Gives me a few more little options in terms of being able to tile and maybe swap out the gypsum plasterboard for a hardwood or a cement board or something like that as well, depending on where it's located, if you know what I mean. So I can do that. Notice as well that I've got my coarse fill scale as red and solid fill here as well, and I'll show you why I did that. Now I literally just ran around everything here and got that in, and again if I come back into this, you'll notice that I've got the base offset is 100 up above the ground level because the floor in here is at ground level, so I've got 100 mil of a difference, and that's going to be where my basketball floor will go in there. So if I needed to put in this one, I'll do create similar, and I'm not quite sure how or why that's going like that. I think it's meant to be here, something like that there. Okay, so that's how I put that in. And what I'll do then is I can go around and I'll actually run a whole string of dimensions through here, and I'll get these as close as possible. So again, just to show you that, we'll do annotate here and make sure I've got wall faces. Okay, I'll go from there to there to there to there, and so on like that. And then you can see that's 3-4. Again, 9-7 is against 3-4, but I can always take this one and just move it across a piece. 3-4-7-1. Okay, 3-5 and whatever else, and 2. So I'm somewhere in between the two, if you know what I mean. If I wanted to get this accurately, I would do, that would be 3-5 to me, not 3-4-9. So 3-5-0-0, and that'll position that, and it's a little bit short here, but I can always move this one over a little bit. So if I wanted to line these up, I'm going to use my tool here and say to this, align tab, that one. Okay, so I've got that one lined up there too. Okay, so that's a question of just going around there. Now once you've got all your walls in, you can get your doors in as well, like so. And then for this wall here, what I decided to do is I'm going to run in between each of the columns. All right, and let's just take a 3D here. So that's that wall there. So I'm going to expose the column into the hall here as well, because I think that'll look well. And that particular wall has, again, I have a gypsum plasterboard finish to it, a cavity, service cavity, and then the CLT board. But again, I could swap that out for something a bit harder. If there's going to be basketballs banging against it and things like that, plasterboard won't do there. So it might need to be MDF or something like that painted. But as I said, I can do that very easily and very quickly by just duplicating the wall, swapping out the material and giving it a new type mark, whatever. So I'm going to run a course of this the whole way around the building, because I know from up to first floor level it's still within the building here. My only the thing I need to think about is when this wall here, these walls here, come above and are exposed to the external around here, and I'll have to do a swap over. I'll have to do a transition from one wall type into another, and but that's easily done as well. I know that these are glass partitions here. I'm just going to run my wall straight through there, and I'll come back, maybe do a bit of curtain wall glazing in this area here. And I know this floor level is higher as well, so that'll be taken into account there too. So currently I have an external wall. I've got O1, I've got an internal wall, O2, I've got another internal wall, O3 here. These are funny little things here as to whether you would spend the time creating a kind of a stud partition around that. I don't know, I kind of doubt it, you know. So I might just make a thinner CLT panel and pop them in there. And you know, they're just basically dividers. The same here with this here. The only thing I find about the exposed CLT, it looks lovely when you walk into it first, but particularly in a highly trafficked area like this here, where you've got kind of no supervision, you're going to get a kid with a marker or something like that, and it's very difficult to get that out of the CLT, whereas you can just kind of paint over it if it's plasterboard or tile or something like that. So you can make your own choice in terms of that amongst the group, make a technical design decision based on that. All right. Okay, so I'll continue on with what I plan to do here. The next video, I think, will be putting in the first floor, having a look at the stairs, various things like that, and then we'll start to bring the basketball arena walls up higher, and at some point they'll expose themselves, and we'll deal with that when we come to it at that point.